Joining me now on this telecast is Education Minister of Karnataka, Mr. B.C. Nagesh. Mr. Nagesh, thank you for joining me today morning. Amid this big face-off, Hindi Diwas celebration that shouldn't be celebrated is what Kumaraswamy has even written a letter to the Home Minister. What do you have to say, sir?
No, I doesn't want to comment on what the letter he has written, but I am astonished being in such a high position in Karnataka. They doesn't know when Hindi Diwas was started. Hindi Diwas was started not by Narendra Modi ji, not by BJP Sarkar. Since 1949, Hindi Diwas has been celebrating currently. But unfortunately, as you know, the father of Mr. Kumaraswamy was the Prime Minister of the country. Kumaraswamy was more than 3 years, he was the Chief Minister of the country. Now, they are talking such things. It is really unfortunate for this country. They speak about the expenditure also. But the things which had been thought and done since 1949, now they are opposing only because for their political ends. They want to take advantage of everything. They want to politicize everything. If they are ideologically against that,
Yes.
then Mr. Deva would have removed Hindi Diwas when he was the Prime Minister of the country. So,
By writing this letter, sir, to Basavaraj Bommai, the Chief Minister, asking that, we shouldn't celebrate, it's an insult to us. Do you think this is an unnecessary face-off and controversy over two languages, both beautiful, Kannada and Hindi? That's B.C. Nagesh, he's the Education Minister. This is what he's talking about. Basavaraj Bommai has received a letter from D Kumaraswamy, who's the former Chief Minister, who's also the JDS leader. He's written to Basavaraj Bommai saying, do not celebrate Hindi Diwas. And now B.C. Nagesh joins me again. Mr. Nagesh, do you think this is an unnecessary controversy? Both are beautiful languages, Kannada and Hindi. And at this point to say, don't celebrate this, it's an insult to the Kannadigas. This is only going to create more rift between people in the state of Karnataka and Bengaluru, which is such a cosmopolitan city.
No, definitely it will not create anything, because such words will not be cared by the people of Karnataka. And मैं आपको हिंदी दिवस के दिन आपको बोलने को इच्छा करता है, कर्नाटक लोग बहुत होशियार है, इंटेलिजेंट है, देश में और विदेश में कर्नाटक का इज्जत बहुत बढ़ाया है. इस कारण से कर्नाटक लोग के बारे में किसी ने लिखा है इसलिए रिफ्ट आता है, यह मत सोचो. ऐसा छोटा छोटा चीज कर्नाटक में ऐसा कुछ नहीं कर सकता है.
सर, आई अप्रिशिएट आप हिंदी में बात कर रहे हैं एंड ये भी एक मैसेज जा रहा है. आपको क्या लगता है, क्या मैसेज जाना चाहिए सर विद अटेम्प्टिंग टू स्पीक इन हिंदी, विद एनकरेजिंग एंड नॉट सेइंग दैट हिंदी दिवस मत सेलिब्रेट करो, ये वेस्ट है पैसे का, ये इंसल्ट है कन्नडिगास को?
नहीं, एक चीज उसका लेटर में एक लाइन को मैं भी एक्सेप्ट करता हूं, किसी को हिंदी दिवस आचरण करने के लिए फोर्स मत करना. मगर हिंदी दिवस सेलिब्रेट 1940 में यह सेलिब्रेट कर चुका है. इस देश में बहुत लोग को किस भाषा मालूम है, उस भाषा से इस देश को इंटीग्रेट करने के लिए वह लोग हमारा लोग कौन कौन फ्रीडम मूवमेंट में पार्टिसिपेट किया, इस देश को स्वतंत्र लेने के लिए यह सब चीज उपयोग किया, इस लोग को अवमान हो सकता है.
Sir, of course, Kannada language को भी बिल्कुल encouragement मिलना चाहिए, just like Hindi and any other language. But जब कुमारस्वामी ये बोलते हैं,
not only Kannada, Hindi, every state should encourage its own mother tongues.
yes,
The NEP started by our great Prime Minister Narendra Modi stress that children should be taught in mother tongues.
yes, that's correct.
All Indian languages are great languages, rich languages. So we should teach our children in Indian languages. This is the only national political party which is saying that all Indian languages are great, and we should try to encourage the state languages also.
Mr. Nagesh, when Kumaraswamy says that, and maybe perhaps the union government's attempt is that Hindi may become a joining connect for anyone. You know, not everyone speaks Hindi, but they are willing to perhaps make it a bridge across Karnataka. Do you think that could break the Kannada's importance, or, you know, both can coexist simultaneously? And if Hindi becomes a connect, what's wrong with it?
That is what I am saying. There is only Mr. Modi who started NEP. We are saying, we are very particular that every state should use its own language, mother tongue should be used. We are very particular. We always say that Bhasha is a very important thing to create motherhood,
Yes.
Patriotism among the citizens. So we should encourage Kannada in Karnataka, Tamil in Tamil Nadu, Telugu in Andhra Pradesh. We are very particular for that.
Yes.
So Hindi Diwas was not created. Again, I must नहीं इसको हमारा पूर्वज लोग कौन इस देश को स्वतंत्र के लिए उस लोग का जीवन दे दिया है. वह लोग सोचा इस देश में अगर देश अगर स्वतंत्र से ही रहने के इच्छा हो तो इंग्लिश नहीं रहना. वह लोग मदर टंग के बारे में कभी नहीं बोला है. सब मदर टंग के बारे में एनकरेज किया है. मगर हिंदी इंग्लिश हमको एक कॉलोनियल लैंग्वेज है. वह हिंदी इंग्लिश उपयोग करना उचित नहीं है. इस हिसाब से वह लोग सोचकर हिंदी को मैं यह देश में रहने के लिए वह लोग सोचा है. मेरे ख्याल से हमको इसके बारे में पूरा हमको भी जानकारी नहीं है, मगर उन लोग का इच्छा था इस देश को इंग्लिश उपयोग नहीं करना. इसलिए किस लैंग्वेज का अल्टरनेटिव यूज करने के लिए सोचा है मालूम नहीं है. मगर मदर टंग के बारे में राज्य का भाषा के बारे में भाजपा कितना फोर्स करता है इतना और कोई पार्टी नहीं किया है.
Sir, I think आपने बहुत ही important point बोला that you know this is about taking pride in Indian culture, which is Hindi, which is Kannada, which is all other languages, and perhaps you know that also now needs to be spoken about. That you know everyone's pushing for English. Why shouldn't we push more for our Indian languages and make Hindi perhaps what English is? Do you think that should be the next step? Because that's what I think you're trying to say, that, you know, both can coexist. But why do we give so much importance to English when, you know, perhaps an Indian language can be given that importance as well?
No, again, I am clearly clarifying is that no language should be forced on any
Correct.
person. Any person. Even Hindi cannot be forced by any person in Karnataka. But giving importance to the mother tongue is more important, because whoever wants to learn other languages will learn individually and he will for his necessity. But we should say that all Indian language should be respected, should be given more importance, and even Hindi, which is spoken by the majority of the people who knows Hindi in the majority people in the India. So one should not make this a political issue.
Sir, ये जो हिंदी दिवस की celebration आने वाली है in Karnataka, so will that celebration now go ahead? Will your government support it? And of course, there will be specific initiatives as there have been for the local languages as well. So क्या ये हिंदी दिवस celebration होगा sir कर्नाटका में?
मैं यही बोल रहा हूँ, अभी तक क्या कैसा हिंदी दिवस बना है ऐसा ही हिंदी दिवस बना रहा है. मगर हमारा इम्पोर्टेंस कन्नड़ राज्योत्सव को हम लोग ज्यादा देता है। कन्नड़ राज्योत्सव सेलिब्रेशन करने में हम लोग ज्यादा इम्पोर्टेंस देता है। इसको हर आदमी को कन्नड़ राज्योत्सव के दिन हम लोग इन्वॉल्व करता है।
So, final question. Why do you think Kumaraswamy out of nowhere is suddenly harping on that? You're correctly pointing out his own father was the Prime Minister. At that point, even then Hindi Diwas was celebrated. It's been there in the state as well. Suddenly out of nowhere trying to incite this controversy and rift between people and languages.
I said that all politicians have a habit to speak before elections, and I think Kumaraswamy has done it. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.